Hello everybody, welcome back to another how-to video on my channel. My name is Legacy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install some illuminated door sills on my 2013 Camry here. And what you're going to need for this is just some pliers of any sort, a flathead screwdriver or any kind of plastic prying. You're going to get some zip ties with this kit, you're going to get some foam tape, some bigger versions of it and smaller versions of it. A smaller one you're going to be using to cover some metal pieces that might damage your wire. And I've already used up some of these materials to install the driver's side one, just to make the intro for you guys and just to get a feel on how to do it. Now this kit is going to come with two rear left and right ones, door sills, and then you're going to get one passenger side and one driver side door sill. The driver and passenger are the illuminated ones. As you can see, it has the wire and a fuse. And also you'll get these color-coded wires. Gray and green are for your passenger side, and then I believe it's blue and light green for your driver's side. Wire splicing plastic thingies for those so you can splice the wires together. Zip ties, everything is good, and this is basically all you need is a screwdriver and a pair of pliers, and that's your installation complete. For those of you that want to purchase this kit, I will link it down in the description below to Amazon.com, and you can purchase this there. Just make sure that this does fit your vehicle, and if not, just search up your vehicle brand and year, and then you can go ahead and write illuminated door sills after that, and it should show up if they do make the aftermarket ones for your vehicle. Also, if you don't like the video representation of this installation, I do have instructions down in the description below. It'll be a PDF of basically a manual of these, and it'll show you everything you need to know in written and with pictures. So you can go ahead and go there, or you can watch this video, your choice. If not, let's get right into the installation. Okay everyone, so before we start taking anything apart and messing with the electrical system, we're just going to cut the power to all the lighting on the interior of the car. Now there's two ways to do this. You can either disconnect the battery terminal from the rear of the car for this Camry because it's a hybrid. The battery is not in the front, it is in the back. You can go ahead and disconnect that, the negative battery terminal, or you can just come over here to the front of the car and take the plastic pry tool from right there and go ahead and just take out the 7.5 amp fuse for the interior lighting, which is going to be located right here. The second one next to the second to last one. So just pry that out, go ahead and pry that out with the tool, and it's going to be right there as you can see. And I think this is a lot easier than having to disconnect the battery terminal and resetting the computer, as it's not as complicated. So let's go ahead and go inside the car and continue with the rest of the installation. Alright, this part of the video is fairly simple. All you need to do is prep this area so we can see the wires and we can mess with the electrical system. All we need to do is remove the old door sill, remove all these plastic parts that are going to be in the way, and we're going to go ahead and do that right about now. Just like that. So the old piece is now removed, the old door sill is now out, so we're going to go ahead and put that to the side. Right about now it would be a good idea to go ahead and wipe this area down, prep it, and then just like get kind of cleaner. That is good for the paint, that's not going to damage the car. Like water would be a good idea, just wipe this area down. So here I've got a spray lubricant, but this is just the water, it's just water, it's no lubricant or anything, it's just a spray bottle that I'm using. So go ahead and spray the area down and just wipe this down. So after this area is clean, go ahead and remove the rest of the plastic parts. So just for this piece, you just gotta stick your hands on the other side and just pry up, just like that. And it's fairly simple, it's just gonna come right off. Try not to break anything, do it slowly and gently. Okay, there we go. So these are the connectors right here. This one, and basically this one, and these are just the tiny connectors in the middle that hold the piece on. Put that aside. Now we got this piece in here, and this piece has a nut in there, so I'm going to show you guys that later. But for now, let's just take the weather stripping out in the middle. Just loosen this, and just loosen it up until this piece. And there we go, there's that done. This area is prepped right here. Now we're just going to go ahead and take this panel off. Alright, so now we are inside the car and the panel is right here. This is that panel I was talking about, and this panel has a screw right in here. And this nut is plastic, so you do not need any tools, and it's fairly loose. So just take it off with your hands, and it'll come off just like that. Put that aside, don't lose it. And then to take this piece off, it's the same thing, just stick your hand under there and kind of slowly pry out. Just like that.
20 minutes later.
Just like that, the piece will come off, and let's just put that aside. So that is taking everything out and prepping part done. Now all we have to do is start working on the wires As you can see, there's the whole wiring system right in there, and the harness that we're going to be messing with is one of these ones right over here. So we're going to find that real quick, and I'm going to show you a real trick that we're going to use to find it. So let me just remove the rest of this wither stripping. Just remove it up until here. You do not need to remove it anywhere up there or anything on this side. So let me just show you the trick that I'm going to use to find the wire. Alright, so the way we're going to find these wires is fairly simple. We're just going to go to the door panel right here, and we're going to look at the bulb at the bottom. Just use a plastic pry tool or a screwdriver or anything without damaging the panel. Just pull it out pry it from this side, because it opens like this and out. You don't want to pry it the other way, because then you'll just be damaging your panel. And you just look at the wires right here, and they're going to be gray and green, and those are the ones that are on the light, so that's a good thing. Okay, everybody, so before we start doing anything else and looking for the wires or anything, just go ahead and install your door sill, and make sure that the word Camry is facing towards the front of the vehicle, and just go ahead and put this right in the slots. Make sure the wires are inside the vehicle like this, and you'll have a little fold over right here, the metal, where the metal will fold. So you have this area where the metal actually, the seam folds. That's where your wire is going to go. So just pull out your wire like that, and just put this sill right over the 3 holes, because there's 3 different pins that you're going to be plugging in as the clips. So go ahead and just press it down slowly, gently just press down, and you'll just hear a clicking sound, just like that. And just like that. So your door sill is actually installed. Obviously it won't light up because you haven't gotten your wire connected yet, but we're going to go ahead and bring the wire over here, and then what we're going to do is grab the foam pads, and we're just going to take those. So we're just going to go ahead and take one of them and put it right over the middle seam right here that I was talking about, the rolled over seam. Okay, everyone, so I've managed to find the wires that we are going to need. It is the connector right at the top here, this one right here with the fat wires. It is pretty obvious. It's the gray connector. It's going to be an 8-pin connector. There's many more than that, but this is called an 8-pin connector or something like that. And what we are basically going to do here is find the 2 wires that are going to be gray and green. So there's 2 green wires, so make sure that you find the right ones. It's going to be the one right in front here, this one right here, and then the gray one right behind it. So this one right here. And this is going to be a little bit hard to splice, so I'm going to take the time to just do it off camera, so just so you guys don't have to be waiting here and watching me do this. Okay, so I have gotten the splice set up. Now all you need to do is position it so this tab piece here, one single tab piece, is facing towards the connector, just so you don't have the spare wire coming from the door sill on this side of the connector. You don't want to do that. You want to do it on the opposite side where the rest of the wires are coming from. So go ahead and set it up just like this, with the regular normal wire from the car right on the open side here, and then you're going to put this one from the door sill right in the hole right on top. Just stick it in, and there's a little window here so you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see the wire that's in there. So we're just going to go ahead and take our pliers. This is the exact reason why I got long ones instead of short ones, because this is very hard to do with short ones. Just go ahead and push it nicely, just like that, and then once it's flush, just go ahead and give your wires a little bit of a tug just to see if everything's snug. And then just go ahead and close this door on top, and you'll hear a little click. Just like that. And when you do position this a little bit higher up or a little bit low down, so you have room to do your other gray wire. As you can see, I made that mistake, and I'm going to have a hard time doing the gray wire. So I'll be back when I've got the rest of the splicing complete. Alright guys, so I've managed to finally finish splicing this. This was a pain, but it did work. Try not to mess up any of your other wires. Please try not to do that, otherwise you'll screw something up. So just carefully, just slowly pull the wires out and just go ahead and splice them. So now what we're going to do is take this the foam tape, and we're just going to peel the back off and just wrap it around this connection just to make it a little bit more secure. And what I like to do is just pull these wires up so they look so they're coming out the top and it looks nice. Just go ahead and put this tape around the connection. Just in my opinion, it is a lot easier to do this on the driver's side. This was a pain. It's just a little bit more room on the driver's side. Not a lot, just a little bit more. Which is enough to be easier than this side. Because this side was very painful. Alright, just like that, and then just bend all the wires back. And go ahead and connect them to the connector they were in. just like that. And you're gonna hear a click. Just like that. Everything's into place. Looking good. Go ahead and just tug this stuff away in the corner here and just have it nice and snug. Just out of the way of the cover, so when you put the cover on, nothing is in the way. Just like that. And before we do anything else, we're gonna go ahead and test this if this works. So I'll see you guys at the front of the car. Alright, so we're back at the front of the car at the fuse box, and the best thing to do is to just take your fuse and put it right back in to see your hard work come to life. Just like that. Push it in. We didn't hear anything go wrong, so which is a good thing. Just go ahead and put this thing back in the cap where it belongs and put the cap right over it. Let it close. There you go. And good, and we'll go back and test the light. Alright guys, as you can see, nothing happened, and there's a reason to this. Do not worry, it is not because you wired it wrong or anything. All you need to do is close the door all the way. And then open it again. And there we have it. All the lights are running again. And there's our installation we just made. Let me just turn off my work light here. You guys can see this better. Let me block off all the other light. There you go. As you can see, it is illuminated and looking good. This is exactly what we wanted. Let me just close the door and try again. So let me just put the seal out of the way. That's why the door was having a hard time closing. Okay. And there we go. So let me just show you how to put everything back together, and then we'll be on our way to do the rear of the car. So before we put everything back together, let's go ahead and cut these zip ties. I don't personally recommend cutting them all the way down to the bottom. Leave like a centimeter or so, just a little bit, just like that. Just leave a little notch. Just because maybe if you want to maybe take the zip ties off in the future, you can have a little bit of an easier time taking it apart. Just go ahead and cut them. Perfect. Now we can just take this cover, the last cover we took apart. So just remember that putting everything back together is the opposite of taking it apart. So just go ahead and put the last cover that we took off. We're going to put that on first, okay? So this piece is on. Now we're going to take the nut that we took off from the back, put that on. Don't put that nut too tight just because it is plastic and it'll skip its turns instead of actually getting tighter. And you'll strip the nut and it won't screw on very well. Okay? So the point of putting it right here is because there's a little bit of a play in this rubber right here. It's not the hard one right here. It's a little bit softer right here. So we could just put it under there just so it fits in nicely. All the weather seal is good. So we can just take this piece and put it back where it was. Just like that. Here you're going to have to put a little bit more force. And just like that. And there you have it. This side, passenger side, is now complete. And let's go move on to the rear, left and right. Alright everybody, the rear of the vehicle is fairly simple, much easier than the front. All we really have to do is pry it out. Just go ahead and stick your fingers under there. You don't need any special tools for this, and just pry it off just like that. And once you get it off, just remember that there's a little bit of a bend on this piece, just not like the front, but there's a bend towards the back of it, and that's how you know which piece goes where, because the rear ones look kind of identical and you want to know where to put which piece. So again, with this piece, we're going to go ahead and spray it down and wipe everything just before we put the new one on, because we don't want any debris under the new one. Alright, just like that. And another way of telling which one goes where, you can go ahead and see that it's a little bit of a shorter space here than here, so the Camry logo goes towards the front of the vehicle more than the rear. Okay, and this is the rear right one. So just go ahead and push, and it's installed. Now let's go to the other side. Alright, now we're here at the rear left of the vehicle. Again, no special tools needed. Alright guys, so that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, just go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below and I will answer as best of my ability. And that is the conclusion of this. Also, again, I will link everything down in the description. This kit, the instructions to this kit, written version with pictures, if you do not like this video. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And do give me opinions on what videos I should make next if you want to know how to do anything else. And I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck!